wrong or that I needed to settle it or figure it out.
Convinced Sullivan to call this person back.
They picked up the phone and said they were Lieutenant somewhat or other, another name, and that there was 2 citations against me for not showing up in court.
She explains a person on the other end of the line knew her name, address, and even her birth date.
I know a lot of that stuff's available online, but to have somebody read it to you on a live phone call is pretty unsettling. And convincing.
The Kent County Sheriff's Office explains that Sullivan is not the first person to get this call. It adds that there are a number of complaints last month. In some cases, scammers are claiming their potential victim missed jury duty, and now there is a warrant out for their arrest.
Yes, I was like, okay, I'll just drive to the local police station and see if there's something I need to do. And at that point, the scam person on the phone, was starting to tell me to do otherwise.
Sullivan explains that's when the call took a turn.
And I think that if I had maybe looked up things not to do, it is to stay on the phone if you're uncertain about a phone call situation, I think.
She tells me she wanted to share her story so no one falls victim to these scammers' convincing tactics.
I hung up once I realized they were asking for money.
The Kent County Sheriff's Office explains they and no other law enforcement agency will request money over the phone. If you receive a call, do not provide payment or personal information. If you're in Kent County, call Dispatch Center at the number on your screen or your local police department to report the scam. Reporting in studio, I'm Matt Whitkos, Fox 17 News.
It all begins tonight. The road to the Super Bowl goes through Ford Field. Lions and Commanders in prime time. The matchup is set, practices are wrapped up, and it is go time. Throughout the week, Lions coaches and players said this is right where they wanted to be and right where they expected to be. The Lions will play the Commanders for the first time this year tonight. The bright lights will be on. Detroit has been fantastic. 11-2 in primetime matchups under Dan Campbell. He said it doesn't matter where you're seated or how many wins you have this time of year, you have to be hungry. And this team is hungry.
We handle the perception of pressure well, the lights, all of it, and really we handle 1 o'clock games too, right? I mean, we handle that pretty well too. So, but I think for us, I think a lot of times, 2 things happen, and it happens in those type of games. It happens in the playoffs. I've said this. I said it last year. It's too much, and some guys crumble, teams crumble because it's just too much pressure. You can feel the lights, the bright lights. Or you want it so bad that you go out of the norm and you start trying to make plays instead of just doing your job that got you 15 wins. Just do your job. The guy next to you will do his one more time. That's all.
It will be a fun one tonight. Earlier this week, we sat down with Grand Valley Hall of Famer and former Lions tight end Rob Rubick to discuss the game. What does it take for Detroit to get a win this weekend?
They don't turn the ball over offensively. Don't give any extra possessions to the Commanders. They'll win. They're that good. The offense is that good. It keeps so much pressure on the team you're playing to kind of hold serve. That offense is going to hang 30 on the Commanders. I have total faith in that. Now, you don't want to give them short fields, extra possessions. That defense will step up, and Aaron Glenn, God love him, he's done a wonderful job. Just getting a lot out of some guys that are just very average NFL players, but he gets everything he can out of them, then he mixes those with the good players that are left on that defense, and they survive. They keep their head above water. If they can do that, I really think they come out on top.
It should be a fun one tonight at Ford Field, and we will have coverage for you all day long and especially right after the game. In studio, Thomas Cook, Fox 17 Sports.
Well, thanks for that, Thomas. And many fans out there are trying to make money on the game as well and have been all season long. The Michigan Gaming Control Board reported that it fielded a record amount of sports bets back in November, with Michiganders wagering more than $650 million. It's not all just fun and games, but also serves a good cause. $20 million in gaming taxes went back into the state of Michigan and priority critical services like schools and support for first responders last year as well. Michigan is not the only one hit with the gambling bug. The Super Bowl is in the top 3 most wagered events of the year, alongside both NCAA basketball March Madness tournaments.
Certainly in a legal jurisdiction such as the state of Michigan, and you've got a really exciting football team, it just creates a lot of excitement, which means you're going to begin to attract some more casual bettors. They are making weekend plans to watch the game Saturday night. They might want to decide to put $5 on the Lions or $10 or whatever it is their preferred amount, just to enjoy a little bit of that increased engagement. And
the Lions head into the matchup as the favorites across all betting platforms, with most listing Detroit as a 9.5-point favorite. This means experts predict the Lions will win by at least 2 scores in tonight's game. Next, the over-under is set at 0, which predicts how many total combined points will be scored by both teams, listed at 55.5 points. Also, if you're looking to pick which team is going to win straight up, head for the money line. Do not expect profit too much without taking some risk. The Lions are heavily favored in that category as well, with a $10 wager making you a little more than $2 as of this afternoon. And finally, remember to gamble responsibly. And if you need help, the number on your screen is for the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline, which is available 24/7. And the Lions playoff game will air on Fox 17 tonight. The pregame starts at 7:30 p.m., followed by kickoff at 8 o'clock, also followed by a postgame and a late night edition of Fox 17 News. Well, time now is 7:10 and still ahead. Miss Wheelchair Michigan is happening today. We take a preview at the event and hear from a previous winner about her journey. Looking at birthdays, we want to wish a very happy birthday to Adeline, turning 13 years old. We have Aslyn, happy 10th-year-old birthday, Aslyn. We've got 7-year-old Mila today, happy birthday, Mila. And we've got Wyatt in his Lions jersey, happy 7-year-old birthday. And we've got the 14-year-old Zachary today. Love the dog, Zachary. We want to make sure we're wishing your child a happy birthday as well. Send an email to mornings@fox17online.com.
This is a Fox 17 winter weather alert.
Good morning, everybody. 7:14 on a Saturday morning, and here is what we're tracking this time around for the 18th of January. Arctic air plunges in this weekend. It's going to be a gradual process today. We'll really feel it, though, tonight and then Sunday and beyond. By the time we get to Monday and Tuesday, it's the coldest air we've seen in 6 years, single-digit high temperatures. So for those of you folks that say, it's Michigan, that's just the way, it's not. This is unprecedented cold weather with 6-year hiatus, and now it's coming back. Steady to heavy lake effect snow is going to be coming in here. It develops tonight, and it goes through Wednesday, especially for areas along and west of US 131. Winter weather advisories have already been posted for our lakeshore counties, even though they don't start until 7 o'clock this evening. Few rain and snow showers shifting off through the southeast portion of our state. The rest of our area is dry. We saw very little of anything. Temperature 27 degrees up there in Hart, 29 in Fremont. Those are the coldest spots. Everybody else is at or above the freezing mark, so it's still pretty mild out there, and there's still some melting going on. Wasn't yesterday gorgeous? We made 40 degrees in Grand Rapids. It was breezy, but the sunshine was awesome. You can clearly see what's happening here, folks. When we look at maps like this, I try to show maps that are engaging. That's my job as a meteorologist, is to get the message across and show things that are easy to understand. So here's the deal. Front has already moved on through. There's not Arctic air immediately behind the front because we've got temperatures of 34 degrees, but off to our north and west, clearly that Arctic air is plunging in here, and that's why gradually through the day today, our temperatures are going to fall from the mid-30s, well, actually upper 30s, which is where we were at midnight, and by the time we get to the dinner hour tonight, we'll be in the lower 20s. So not much going on out there right now. Today's kind of a dry, quiet, uneventful day. Maybe a passing snow shower, a few flakes or flurries, mostly cloudy. It'll be a little bit breezy, but our temperatures are going to gradually fall through the 20s and into the teens as we go into the day. Take a look at what's going on then. There goes the Arctic cold front. That cold air gradually filters in. We'll really start to feel it tonight, and that's what's going to ignite the lake effect snowmaking machine here, especially along and west of US 131 with that Arctic cold. That gets things fired up because that colder air coming across the waters of Lake Michigan. And then as we go into Monday, we've got this trough of low pressure that's going to swing on through. That coupled with the Arctic cold is going to continue to ignite these lake effect snow showers, and that continues all the way into Wednesday before it winds down. Forecast model is showing all up and down the Lake Michigan shoreline. We all see the cold air. That's going to be where the heaviest snow will fall. Areas along and west of US 131 in that purple. I think between tonight all the way into Wednesday before this winds down, there could be about 12 to 18 inches of snow in some of these areas. If you're further inland east of US 131, it'll be much less, negligible amounts, I think, by that time. Future temperatures, well, here's where we are now, but look at the way that cold air just plunges into the area, and it's not just our area. This is going to go well down into the deep south. That's why I like to show a longer or a bigger map like this, because it's a broader, wider area. By 7 p.m. on Sunday, we're only in the single digits, and then we go forward to Monday. There's 6 a.m., -3 degrees, and by the time we go to later on Monday, we're only in the single digits. So winter weather advisory is posted for our lakeshore counties, 7 p.m. tonight until 1 a.m. on Monday. 4 to 8 inches will fall in those areas during that time frame, but I think that'll get extended. Some counties may get added, and there'll be additional snow totals as we go into the rest of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Temperatures gradually fall today. High temperature tomorrow, 13 degrees with that lake effect snow. The coldest air, the core of it, arrives Monday and Tuesday. Single digits, wind chill on those days, 10 to 20 degrees below zero. And then we warm into the mid-20s for Thursday and Friday. One more thing, don't forget about your pets. They should be inside in weather like this. Lauren?
Thanks for that, Kevin. And despite the fact that more than 64 million Americans are living with disabilities, it is a population that oftentimes gets overlooked. That is something the Miss Wheelchair American organization is trying to change with its local and national competitions. Miss Wheelchair Michigan is today, and our Alina Howder spoke with last year's winner about the opportunities it has given her to advocate for people with disabilities.
Did you tell me?
July 3rd, 2018, 7:43 a.m.
Wow.
It's a day Shantae Favors will never forget.
I worked as a director of care at a long-term care facility.
A simple walk up the stairs
I tripped and fell.
changed her life forever.
Broke my neck, my C2 to my C7. I became an incomplete quadriplegic.
The road to recovery was a long one.
I really did want to live. I didn't see life outside of my norm. I didn't see a way out.
She found her guiding light during her 4-month stint at the Detroit Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, thanks to patients like herself.
They're like, oh, we play basketball, we do this, we go bowling every Tuesday. I'm like, y'all bowling? Y'all playing basketball? You know, they had such a positive outlook on life. You know, I'm like, I'm going to get to that.
She did that and even more on top of 3 surgeries.
I literally put myself out there.
She became an advocate for those with disabilities, working to bridge the gap between caretakers and those who are disabled.
I spoke with many Congress and senators on the state and national level. I think I visited 8 different city mayors.
It's just a small reason why Shantae was chosen to be Ms. Wheelchair Michigan 2024, and she hit the ground rolling.
Doors are opening, I'm rolling. I was on the panel for Detroit's very first disability pride celebration, where I conducted the entire panel.